Hello, everybody. My name is Vic Gilgis, and I'm doing another podcast to help you with your well-being and to help myself with my well-being. The podcast is called Being Resilient. So, you're lucky people. Even if you feel flat on your back, unable to get off the floor, down, half-hearted and all the rest of it, then what this podcast is about the fact that you really have resilience, and I'm going to illustrate what that is all about, hopefully, so that you'll soon be bouncing around the room full of joy and resilience. Right, so, and I've called it Being Resilient because that is what we're made of. That's the originality of it all, is that life is resilient. We have life inside of us. We are resilience. We are born that way. But often we get into our head that we're not because of all sorts of things. First of all, let me just describe, outline what I think resilience is. Now, there's two ways. The first way is that I used to work in production, manufacturing, making things. And in a factory, one of the things we used to talk about is being agile, quickly be able to change, being resilient. And we used to look upon resilience as a competitive edge factor. In other words, we could bend this way, we could bend that way. And so it's how quickly you can shift, bend, accommodate, and how quickly you can do it and bounce back. So that is the production view of, and it is, if you can switch quickly from one thing to another, it means there's very little. It's called agile, I think, nowadays. You've got very little waste in the system. You've got very little drag factors in the system. But I'll go across to ourselves, you and me, and resilience, and in that sense, it's the way I look at it is that, like yourself, I've like everybody, we have struggles in life, and I've had quite a few traumatic things with myself and my family, and I've kind of hopefully bounced back, and so it's what I would say is, with myself, I had more to lose not going forward, so I didn't want to go backwards. And the more to gain going forward. And all of us, I think, have the will to want to go forward, because that is we want more of life. And in the war, Churchill, one of his famous sayings was, "Keep buggering on." Sorry about the swear word, but that is Winston Churchill's word, keep buggering on. And that was my view when things get tough, is like, keep going, keep walking through it. You will come out the other end. So it can be a thing of the mind, is that when we're our lowest and feel we can't move on, our mind will often refer to a scary past or a scary future. In other words, it will say, oh, like, don't do this, don't do that, because look what happened last time and look what happened in the future. But in a way, because it doesn't know what the future is, the mind doesn't know what the future is, and the past is gone. All what we've got is always in the now. But in effect, what the mind is saying, it will beat upon you, give you a bad feeling from the past, which is memory brought forward into the now. Bad feeling. It's like basically punching yourself in the gut to say, feel this pain now, because that's what you'll get if you try and do things. So that is like keeping ourselves in a prison. But the mind will do this because the mind loves us and is trying to keep us safe. But if we allow it to keep us safe, we're going to live a very small life, because we're listening to what the mind says, and the mind basically is always trying to play it safe, and that just reduces your immersion in life. So getting on with life is basically moving forward, keeping going on. So this feeling of you're on the floor and unable to pick yourself up is incorrect, because we all have it. You have it, I have it inside of us to do something about things and move forward. And I think this is a basic desire of us, is to want to thrive, want to become what we must be. In other words, we're given life, and we are life, and what we must be is always wanting to express itself. So that desire is always there in the background when we stop listening to the brass band of what the cautious mind is saying, which is just our imagination. So we need to get back to before thought, and when I say before thought, it is before form. It is what it is. For us to become like an oak tree, there is the seed inside of us, and that seed is there. It may seem a little bit woo-woo to say we have it within us. We could call it spirit. It is there. It is awareness. We are aware, and that is before thought, that we are just aware. Now, when I say about woo-woo, what I want to do is I want to read something here. There's this record I've heard called Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen. and part of the lyrics is, and this is a speech to a graduating class that this guy made, the graduating 1997 college class. And this is a Baz Luhrmann. He gave this advice, dispensing advice. And he said, wear sunscreen. If I could only offer you one tip in the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. And it goes on to say many things. It's quite a laugh, really. Useful stuff. And one of the things he does say is, don't worry about the future, or worry, but know that worrying is effective as trying to solve an algebraic equation by chewing bubblegum. So he is saying, look, stop kind of, he's saying this cannot be proved scientifically, but there is something there that can solve things, that is inherent in you. That maybe can't be proved by science, but it's there. And that's what I'm saying, is that it's there. So when life acts upon us, this thing that is inside of us, this knowing, it knows how to respond. And you could call it an innate intelligence that we have. Let me just relate this to down at the subatomic level, the atom and its particles. When say an outside influence like heat, for example, is applied to an atom, the electrons going around the atom move into different orbits, and it becomes a different substance. In other words, there is an intelligence at the atomic level, of knowing what to do. There is an intelligence there. In other words, there is an intelligence at the atomic level and at the macro level, the universe, which the planet, the stars all in their place and what have you, and we're the earth and the moon goes round us and we go round the sun. There is an intelligence into that whole system. There is something that created that intelligence. It knows what to do. It is life. We come from all that and we are life, and it knows how to thrive. What can thwart that is when we hold ourselves back by listening to what the computer says, which has got a lot of duff programming in it, which we weren't given in the first place. So why believe it when it can hold you back? It's useful for making pancakes, planning holidays, doing the shopping list and going around Sainsbury's shopping, or any other shop as useful as Sainsbury's, etc., etc. So, I mean, it's a bit like me saying at the beginning of the podcast, I'm here to help myself with my well-being, and you to help you with your well-being. And of course, what I mean by that is the well-being of our mind and our body at that level. But I'm also saying is that we have an innate well-being because of this intelligence of life within us that is always there. When we're looking over there at what the mind is saying, it is different to realising that we are connected to our well-beingness anyway, and we can let that come through when we're not up in, like as the thing about the sunscreen is when we're worrying about stuff, which is as good as trying to solve an algebraic equation by chewing bubble gum. So, I went with my wife many years ago to a Hay House conference in London, 2010, 2011, I can't remember. And on the stage was Dr. Wayne Dyer, great, and a Dr. Christiana Northrup. And they were discussing topics of mind-body wellness and personal transformation. And Wayne Dyer on the stage, they were both on the stage, said, I'm perfectly well and have the potential like anyone to transform. And Dr. Northrup said, but Wayne, that's incorrect. You have leukemia. And Wayne Dyer replied, I have not. I am spirit, and spirit has no illness. Spirit can overcome. So what Wayne Dyer was saying was, well, on the outside, on the physical side, in the life of form, yes, like all of us, I have weaknesses, I make mistakes, I'm human, but at the spiritual level, I am perfect and capable of being able to do anything, because the seed of potential of, from the acorn to the oak tree is there inside me. It's there. Life energy, life's intelligence. So, I suppose you could say he had a faith, and a faith that we can all have, of knowing that stuff can get done, something will help. Now, on this topic, Sydney Banks in 1973 discovered or revealed to us the three principles and of mind, consciousness and spirit. In other words, what he was talking about here was our psychology, but it included spirit. Whereas normal psychology just looks at thought and behaviour and then action, which is psychology. What Sydney Banks came up with was mind, consciousness and spirit, which are before form, before thought. And so that's what he was doing. He was talking about what Wayne Dyer was talking about, that there is some intelligent energy that is okay within us. It's our okayness. And I would like to say that we sabotage this when we go along to the lie of that than they are, because it's our imagination, the lie that thought can give us, that we are frail, we cannot have resilience because of this has happened to us and that happened to us. But we can bounce back because bounceability is what we've got, because that is what we are. We are life. And we can fall back always on life's resilience, life's intelligence. 2 days ago, I bought a record player. I've had, for a minute, I used to get vinyl. I've got original stuff. I've got the Everly Brothers original, the Ink Spots, the Platters. I've got lots of lovely LPs, vinyl. And I haven't played them for, 40 years. And so, because my old record player, the turntable band snapped, so I ordered a brand new one, except I got a deck and some speakers, and I wired it all up and thought I was really clever, and it wouldn't work. And so I rewired it all up and it wouldn't work, and I couldn't hear anything. And so I went round the back of this thing, which I'd already been looking, but not noticed a little switch. And this little switch, because this deck I'd bought connected Bluetooth, through the air, it connected it to the computer. So I had that facility that I could record all this stuff on the computer through Bluetooth. And this little thing at the back said computer. And it was that little. Why, for idiots like me, and we're not techie, why it wasn't a bigger button that said, oh, this is on computer, that's why you won't hear anything, but just click it across and it's manual. And I did, nearly blew my ears off. It came to life. So it all worked, brilliant. And what I'm saying is that it's a simple, you know what I mean? It's like that when we switch from using this computer to manual, which is what we've got, which is live, then things really start to come alive, like my example there. So we can always get out of this and go back into who we really are. We can snap out of thought at any moment. We can wake ourselves up to life. The trouble is that we can become half-hearted about life because we sometimes give in. This and that has happened to us, and oh dearie me, the man wants to play it safe. Don't do that again because you know what happened last time. And that is not true. We are built to bounce back. So we are really discouragement proof. We have in us that hope, that possibility, the fullness of ourselves. This is what resilience is. And obviously, as humans, we sometimes fail. But I'm making the point here that we are spirit on legs. That is it. We are life's intelligent energy on legs. And when I played some of my records, I played one LP, which was ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra, and it's an LP called Time. Fantastic! Listen to it; it's really good. And in the one of the first melodies on the LP, the part of the lyrics are, "It's either real or it's a dream. There is nothing that is in between." Wow. It's either real or it's a dream. There is nothing really. There is nothing that is in between. Well, you might think that what I'm referring to is not real. What I'm saying is that this is the dream. This is not reality. Okay, it's our imagination. It's what we make up. We live in a thought-created reality, and that is not the truth. And that's why when you say there is nothing that is in between, it's either real or it's a dream. And what is real is what is our bounceability, our resilience that resides inside us. Okay, so I hope I haven't bored you to death. I want to now give us a little bit of relax time. So just sit back and just relax. And know that you're relaxing. Know that you're thanking your mind for doing its best for you. Know when it's wise to use it. Because what's inside is the master. The mind should always be the servant. Working together, they work perfectly well. So you can thank your body, thank your mind, just relax. Relax right down from your scalp, little easy there, tiny muscles in the forehead, just relaxing, going down. Soft jaw, easing, calm. That's right, we're just relaxing down. Tension just dropping away on the shoulders, down through your forearms. Easy on the chest and the tummy. Soft with your buttocks on the chair. Through your thighs, all the muscles relaxing. Relaxing down through your legs, just relaxing, easy, that's right. It's keeping on going down. And so relaxed through your body. That's right. Just being comfortable and relaxing, relaxed ankles, relaxed toes. That's it, just chilling out. And just knowing that your mind is trying to protect you. And in doing so, it often plays it safe. But this can give you, as I've said, a small life where you think you are bound by traumas and things that have happened. You're not stuck by your difficulties. You maybe were once, but now in the now you're okay. And a negative mindset can keep you trapped. Our freedom, your freedom, comes from before thought. This is where your innate resilience lies. And therefore your ability to pivot from being down to bouncing back. It's there, always has been. That's our backstop. Life's energy wants to thrive, wants to enjoy taking on challenges, being with life, expanding, getting into life, rather than just staying put. Being able to move into things and change and enjoy that change. Because life is there, it's always good. And when we think it's bad, we need to remember that because of change, that can change. Everything changes. And when we're discouragement proof, which is what we are, it will always change for the better. And if bad things happen, we can overcome because we've got that innate resilience, that bounceability. What is inside of us is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It always wants to come back to the surface, so let it. Don't let your mind trap you into thinking different. You're okay. You always have been. So I want you to come back into your body, be in the room again. I hope that's helped. And just let yourself know that it's turned out nice again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you again. Thank you.